2. Good afternoon and welcome to today's Hofstra Women's Basketball Postgame Press Conference with head coach Danielle Santos Atkinson. Coach, give us your thoughts following today's game against Northeastern.
Came up short in a lot of areas. I thought there were some areas that we got better, but there were some areas that we were not very good. For the positives, this team is second in the CAA in offensive rebounds. They average almost 16 offensive rebounds, and we held them to 8, right? That was an emphasis for us and being able to do that. The points off of our turnovers, we wanted to be able to limit that. We've given up lots of points off of our turnovers at times. We had 16. There's games that we've got a lot more than that, and so to have 16 with the team that presses for 40 minutes, I thought that was growth in our team there. Although we had some very silly ones that I think we could have handled a little bit better. Second chance points were down, those turnovers, and we were unable to get the stops that we needed consecutively tonight. I think this team is a great defensive team when we want to be, when we've got to bounce and we're flying all over the floor and we're making shots tough. But to give up a 72% and a 60% and a 40% field goal percentage for them in multiple 20-point quarters, that is unacceptable when we're not scoring the ball, especially. I thought we got some great looks tonight. We shot a bit more threes for this team than I would have wanted us to take, than this team is used to shooting. We didn't get in the paint as much as we could have, but areas that we improved, but again, areas that we've got to get better.
Questions?
You mentioned the back-to-back 20-point quarters in the second, third quarter. What did they do differently to kind of allow them to explode the way they did?
Yeah, in that second quarter, for us, we made some silly mistakes, and I think going into that second quarter, we turned the ball over in a cluster there and gave them some easy baskets coming on the other end. They were able to, we didn't communicate as well, and they were able to get some buckets off of a lack of communication on our end and everybody being on the same page of what was supposed to happen, whether it was in man or whether it was in zone, in terms of scout or being on the same page of what defense we were in. I think that allowed them some easy buckets. In that third quarter, again, I think in the third quarter, in the first half, we only allowed 2 offensive rebounds. In that third quarter, we gave up a bit more. And so I think second quarter, turnovers got us. In that third quarter, we had a few turnovers, but the offensive rebounds got us as well. Third quarter.
Coach, on a more positive note, Emma Van is the only person to crack double digits today. What did you think of her performance?
Yeah, Emma worked hard offensively to find some open opportunities and some open shots. She was aggressive offensively, which we need her to be. She has, again, ability to play in that mid-range and also shoot the 3. So her continuing to stay aggressive and find those opportunities, I think will be valuable for us and getting everybody else around that as well.
Coach, Brady Thomas and Sorrell and Naja were held 3 for 10 overall field goal. How much of a struggle was it for your key players to get it going in this game against Northeastern?
Yeah, I thought Brandy started off really well. I believe she would have continued that had she not gotten in foul trouble. She sat for an extended amount of time in that first half and with those fouls. And again, there's some players that can play with fouls, and she is one of them. She's very smart, but with her being somebody that we need to have on the floor down the stretch, we're a little hesitant to put her back in the game. We did eventually put her back in the game, but may have held her a little bit long. I think that was tough for her. Sorrell had a rough night, and shooting the ball. She had to play some point for us and also look for her shot as well. They pressured us, so again, in those pressure situations, it's tough. And so we know Sorrell can shoot the ball. We know how she can get going offensively. We didn't have that tonight, but I have no doubt she'll get back going.
It was the team that came into the game averaging about 10 steals, and today with 12 steals in this one. Would you kind of factor that into that kind of 40 minutes of just hounding pressure as defense, or kind of more towards those kind of silly mistakes or whatever?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of both. I think their pressure was there, but as you watch it, we will beat the press flawlessly. And then instead of just continuing to do that action, we'll just try something different, and we try something different and got ourselves into some trouble a bit. And so I think the pressure was there, obviously, and credit to them and being able to continue that pressure for 40 minutes. But I think we did put ourselves in some tough situations within that pressure that we didn't have to necessarily in breaking that press.
If there are no more questions, this concludes today's post-game press conference. Coach, thank you.
Thank you.